to Jay's Techie Crown. If you're watching my channel for the first time, please subscribe. Come, let's get into the video. Which is a starter transformation. So what is a starter transformation? So previously in the joiner transformation, I have shown you an option to enable the starter input. So in case of any performance issues, if the processing of the records are getting very longer than usual, then you can pass starter inputs that would avoid consumption of sorting the data internally within the transformation. So you can use a starter transformation upfront and then enable the sorted input options. So generally sorted transformation is used to sort the data in ascending or descending order based on single or multiple keys. Come, let's go and see how to use a sorted transformation. So here let me arrange this first. Yeah, so in this mapping you can see that we have a joiner. Currently this joiner brings 29 records. Let me remove this option and then let's go to the transformation, create, click on sorted transformation. Yes, yeah, so you'll get a sorted transformation. Yeah, SRT underscore department table A. You can also since you have the transformation creator, you can control C and control V, so that will create another transformation. Yeah, now I have as A1. Let's go here, change the name as B, click OK, apply. Okay, so now I have two things. Now let us pull this from here to here and then go to the sorted transformation, click on properties, whether it's case sensitive. Yes, if you want to remove the duplicates, this is also one of the interview questions they might be asking. So how will you remove duplicates when data is coming from the source? If the source is a flat file, how will you remove duplicates? Either you can have a sorter immediately next to the source qualifier and click on distinct. This will remove any duplicates and bring only distinct records. So if you go to the ports, you can see the key column. Here this one is called a key. So based on what column you want to do a sorting. So I want to do the sorting based on the department ID. Always it is recommended to do sorting based on the primary key or any of the unique key columns. So whether you want to go with ascending or descending, let's go with ascending. You can also try with different options, but manager ID, a single employee can have multiple managers, so manager ID is not unique, so I don't want to go by manager ID, so I'm going by department ID. Click apply, click OK, select all. Now drag this and join this over here. Yeah, similarly go to the department table, select all and then click on this, go to properties. You can see that let's also check in distinct, click on ports. Everything is by default it's selected as distinct. By ascending, you can also change it as descending. I can go ahead and do this. If all the columns are unique, then by default it selects. You can see that I never selected any of the options. By default it is selecting and it's not even allowing me to check or uncheck anything over here because it is unique. So when all the columns are unique, by default it takes. Now go and select everything and then drag this option. Yeah, connected. Now we have the sorted input. Now we have the sorted input to the joiner transformation which we previously created. Let's go here, go to the properties and then enable sorted input. This will avoid creating a cache. Internally it will avoid sorting it again, so that we will save some time. So that will increase the performance of the job. Save it. Yeah, it's valid now. Now go to the workflow manager, refresh the mapping. Yeah, now it is done. So if you go to the previous mapping, you can see that it is not going to show a very huge time difference. So it took 6 seconds to run this job. Let us see if it is showing any difference by adding the sorted transformation. So the entire workflow took 11 seconds and this particular session alone took 6 seconds to complete. Now let us run and see how much time it is taking to load the same set of 29 records here. Start workflow. Yeah, you can see here previously it was 6 seconds. Now you can see less than 49, and previously it was 11. You can see that the time difference is less. Let's rerun this to see if there is if this shows any difference, because we restarted the job for the first time there. Let's try rerunning this start workflow, and it's going to be truncated and load, and let's see the runtime again to see if it is consistent or not. See, it's less than 10 seconds. Previously it was started after a long refresh. That is the reason it was taking much time. Since the job is run immediately, let us run again. Yeah, 5 seconds. You can see the difference when you run the same job again and again, because the instance has now to catch up. So it is showing much good efficiency in the job runtime. Now we can see the previous session was running in 11 seconds, the whole workflow. Now it is 6 seconds, and the session took 6 seconds. Now it is in 5 seconds. It's not showing very much difference, but comparatively it is showing improvement. But if you're running for millions and millions of records, it is going to show hours of a difference. So this is the benefit of using a starter transformation in mapping. So starter transformation is generally used for performance. So whenever you use starter transformations, you can go ahead and enable the starter input in joiner transformation. Hope this helps you to understand how a starter transformation works in Informatica. Thank you. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe.